Close your eyes. Allow the weight of the day to gently fall from your shoulders. Feel the muscles in your face soften. Your jaw unclenches. Your breath moves slowly and steadily, like the rhythm of a lullaby. The air around you grows still. A soft hush settles, as if the world has paused, just for you, to rest, to float, to dream. You are safe here. You are held. Every sound you hear now, my voice, the silence between, guides you deeper into peace. Let your mind drift like a leaf on still water. Let your breath match the flow, gentle and unforced, as if nature breathes with you. And now, our story today begins beside the gentle waters of the Nile. The first light of morning touches the river like a painter's brush. Soft strokes of gold and rose rippled across the surface. The reeds, tall and green, sway slightly, brushing against each other. Their whisper is ancient and timeless, like a song that has never ended. You find yourself there, standing barefoot at the edge of the Nile. The earth is cool beneath your feet, damp with morning dew, fragrant with river mud and blooming papyrus. Above you, the sky is pale, the color of pearl before sunrise. Birds have not yet begun their songs. The hush is complete, and within that hush, she stands. Miriam, a young girl, not yet a woman, not quite a child. Her eyes scan the water, steady and wide. Dark curls rest on her shoulders, and her robe clings slightly to her ankles with the dew. She is still, so very still, as if the entire river depends on her stillness. The only movement comes from the water itself. A gentle lapping against the reeds, a rhythm older than memory, and from it you begin to hear it. It's the river's song. It is not sung with words, it hums with patience. It speaks in soft pulses and gliding currents, tales of journeys and waiting, of time and trust. And in the midst of this sacred music, there floats a basket. It is small, handmade, woven from reeds, delicately sealed with pitch, dark and fragrant. Inside, wrapped in linen, lies a baby, sleeping and breathing. Miriam watches, not with fear, but with purpose. She has been here for some time, long before the sun crested the horizon, long before the birds began to stir. She waits. Her bare toes sink slightly into the mud. She feels the texture of the riverbank, the tiny pebbles, the soft give of wet clay, but her focus never leaves the basket. The baby shifts slightly. Its breath is soft, shallow, and steady. The water carries him just enough to rock him, back and forth, like a cradle, like a mother's arms, like the rhythm of your own breath. The reeds around him protect him. They form a cocoon, a wall of green and gold. The river's lullaby plays on. Now, let me take you deeper. You step away from the bank, not backward, but inward, into the story, into the memory. You see Miriam's hands, small but steady, helping her mother weave. Their fingers move over and under, selecting the strongest stalks. The reeds are soaked just right, pliable and patient, ready to hold something sacred. You hear her mother's voice, soft and sure. She hums while she works, a melody passed from mother to mother. The words are forgotten, but the tune remains. It is a song of hope, of trust, of deliverance, wrapped in silence. The basket was born in secret, woven in a darkened home, sealed not just with pitch, but with prayer. Every strand a petition, every fold a promise. Now it floats, carried by water, guarded by reeds, watched by Miriam, and watched by you. Listen now. The wind begins to stir. It's just the gentlest breeze brushing the tops of the papyrus stalks. They sway slightly, as if bowing to the morning. The sound they make is soft, like the rustle of silk, a sacred whisper in the hush of dawn. The air smells of wet earth, river lilies, and the faint sweetness of date trees nearby. Somewhere in the distance, a heron lifts into the sky, its wings spread wide and slow. It glides over the water, silent and dignified. It does not disturb the basket. Nothing does, because the river knows. The Nile remembers. It has carried many children. It has received many tears. It has whispered to priests and queens, to servants and slaves. Okay, and now it whispers to you. Let go. Let your breath match the river's rhythm. Let your thoughts drift like reeds carried downstream. The baby sleeps. Miriam watches, and the river sings. Its notes are made of time, of waiting, of love without words. You are safe here. Breathe. Drift. Listen. The hush of the Nile will hold you. The story continues. Let us go now into the stillness that surrounds Miriam. Let us walk slowly through the grove of papyrus that shields her, one soft footstep at a time. The reeds rise tall around her, their stalks green and gold in the morning light. Look, their triangular stems catch the sun, casting long shadows across the water. They stand in quiet community, rooted together in the riverbed, their feathery tops swaying in unison. They move not with urgency, but with grace. You hear the sound they make, a gentle whisper, like breath through linen or wind through a curtain. The breeze flows between them like a visitor, welcomed but not hurried. It carries the scent of water, soft mud, and flowering things. Miriam does not move. She stands with her hands by her sides, her eyes fixed on the basket that drifts no more than a few arm lengths away. The reeds around it cradle it like arms, creating a quiet cove. Her robe, a simple woven garment, brushes against her ankles as the breeze moves through. Its fabric is damp near the hem, touched by the river's mist. Her hair, loose and dark, lifts slightly in the breeze. But still, she does not shift. Her entire body listens. She hears the rhythm of the river, slow and steady. She hears the movement of fish beneath the surface, the flutter of dragonfly wings above the water. She hears her own breath, quiet and deep, and she remembers. She remembers the night the basket was completed, the way her mother sat cross-legged on the floor, the oil lamp flickering beside her. The light had cast long shadows on the walls as she worked, her fingers nimble, her expression calm but focused. The reeds had been soaked for days. Miriam had helped gather them, walking along the edge of the water with her small hands full of stalks. They had chosen them carefully, not too brittle, not too soft, each one tested for strength. Her mother had trimmed them to length with a small blade of flint, humming quietly the whole time, a song from her own mother, a lullaby older than memory. They had started the base first, weaving the pieces tightly, pressing them close. Miriam had watched, then joined in. Her fingers learned the pattern, over and under, over and under. She had made mistakes. Her mother had smiled, corrected gently, and shown her again. The weaving was slow, deliberate, not rushed. Each strand held meaning. When the walls of the basket rose tall enough, her mother lined the inside with linen, soft and clean. Then she took the jar of pitch and carefully sealed every seam. The smell was strong, earthy and dark, like the beginning of a storm. They left it to dry near the fire, and when it was ready, she laid the baby inside. He had slept then, just as he slept now, peaceful and still, as if he already knew the river would carry him kindly. Miriam had touched his cheek before they carried him to the shore. He had stirred once, then drifted back to sleep. Now, standing here by the reeds, she feels that moment as clearly as the rising sun. She feels it in her chest, warm and full. She knows what she is doing. She knows why she was asked to watch. This is not just an act of protection. It is an act of trust. Trust in the river. Trust in the plan. Trust in something larger than fear. The water flows around the reeds, slow and even. The current is gentle, barely moving the basket, but still it moves, almost unnoticeably, like a breath between dreams. Let your body feel that same movement now. Let your breath become the current, soft in, soft out. Let your arms grow heavy beside you, like resting limbs in the shallows. There is no rush. There is only drifting. There is only the quiet patience of the Nile. The sky above begins to brighten. The light grows from pearl to amber. Birds begin to stir now. You hear a soft trill nearby, then a second in reply. Their songs are not loud. They are the kind of music that blends into the air like incense. The water reflects the sky. Ripples move outward from where a fish rises, then disappears again. Circles form and fade. Miriam's eyes remain fixed, but her thoughts are with her brother. She does not fear the river. She reveres it, because the river remembers. It remembers the first time it was called sacred, the first harvest it nourished, the first child it carried to safety. And now it remembers this one. The papyrus grove offers its shelter. The breeze offers its comfort. The earth beneath offers its steadiness. And you, listening now, are part of this offering. You are present, still and safe, wrapped in the same calm that surrounds Miriam. Let it hold you. Let it settle over you like a blanket of light. You are not watching from afar. You are standing beside her. You are part of this story. You are part of the hush before something sacred, okay? Let us move closer now, not with our bodies, but with our awareness. Let your mind settle beside the water, right where the basket floats, just inside the arms of the papyrus. The water here is shallow. It is quiet. It knows how to cradle things. Below the surface, the bottom of the river is smooth and warm. Tiny pebbles line the bed, shaped by time and softened by current. Slender plants wave slowly, their leaves thin and translucent. Small silverfish pass through, unbothered, darting into shadows and back into light. This is not a place of danger. This is a place of patience. Miriam watches, but she does not worry. She has been taught that the river can be trusted when approached with reverence. She has been told the stories. Stories of how the Nile carried the blessings of life across the land, how its waters flooded and receded with divine timing, how priests once stood at its edge with vessels of scented oil and clean water, making offerings to the gods, whispering prayers at sunrise. The rituals were quiet, not grand, but sacred, movements made with purpose, hands lifted in gratitude. Now Miriam performs her own ritual, not with incense, not with chant, but with watching, with faith. Her stillness is a prayer, her breath is a hymn, her presence an offering of trust. You too are part of this quiet devotion. You do not need to move. You do not need to speak. Simply by being, you are welcome. Let your thoughts float like pollen on water. Let the edges of your awareness blur, as if your body is not separate from the air around it or the warmth that rises with the dawn. Feel the sunlight as it touches your skin. Not hot, but soft. A gentle press like a hand laid over your heart. The morning grows, the light strengthens, but nothing is rushed. Everything arrives slowly, like a tide. Even the reeds move with grace. They part just enough to let the breeze pass through, sway, but they do not bend too far. They whisper to one another with every movement. Their roots, hidden beneath the water, hold fast to the riverbed. They grow in clusters, a family of stems and fibers, sharing nutrients, sharing space. Miriam knows these plants. She has walked among them many times. She has watched them grow. She has gathered their stalks, peeled their layers, twisted their fibers. She knows how strong they are. She knows they were chosen for a reason. They do not just float. They support. They endure. They bend, but do not break. Just like her. Now the river begins to shift. Only slightly, the current grows more curious. The basket moves. It drips forward, slow and careful, guided by something unseen. Miriam steps forward, not out of panic, not to stop it, but to follow. The water welcomes the movement. It flows with a steady hand, guiding, not pushing. The basket glides, light as a feather, steady as breath. You walk with her now, just behind the reeds, your feet sinking slightly in the cool mud. Each step is silent. Each breath matches the rhythm of the river. You are in no hurry. You are simply present. The baby sleeps on, wrapped in linen, safe and warm. Hay's hands rest at his sides. Hay's chest rises and falls, calm and slow. He does not stir. He does not wake. He is held by the same peace that holds you now. And now, listen. Far down the river, barely audible, a voice rises, soft, melodic, like a woman singing a song meant only for the water to hear. It is not near, not yet, but it is coming. This is the way of things. The river carries more than people. It carries moments. It carries turning points. It carries answers. And the moment is beginning to arrive. Miriam stops. She stands at the edge again, hidden in the reeds, just as her mother asked. She knows what she must do. She must wait. She must watch. She must trust. Her hands hang at her sides, open and still. Her eyes do not blink. Her breath remains even. There is no fear in her, only stillness, only purpose. You stand with her, shoulder to shoulder, listening with her, breathing with her. Let your heart slow again. Let your shoulders soften. Let your body trust the hush. This moment is not over. It is just beginning. You are not separate from it. You are part of the hush, part of the story, part of the whispering river. Let it hold you. Let it keep you. Let the next chapter arrive, slowly, like morning light through reeds. Let your breath move like the river now, steady and slow. Let your limbs grow warm and still. Feel the hush grow deeper, like a soft blanket settling over your chest. Miriam waits, motionless but fully aware. The basket floats ahead, now half covered by the reeds that part, just enough to let it pass. It drifts toward a bend in the river, toward a place where water gathers in wider pools. She remains hidden, just as she was told. Stay close, but not seen. Be watchful, but quiet. Let the river do its work. She obeys, not out of fear, but out of trust. Her feet press into the cool earth. The soft mud receives her weight without sound. Above her, the papyrus moves with the rhythm of wind. They do not rush. They do not question. They simply move. She takes comfort in this. From this quiet cove, you can see more of the river. It widens slightly, like a breath that has been held and is now slowly released. There is a clearing ahead. The trees lean over the water in graceful arches. Their leaves shimmer in the morning light. They reflect on the surface like green lace. Beyond them, just barely visible, is movement. A group of women approaches the water's edge. Their robes are soft shades of linen and blue. They walk with practiced grace, each step measured and calm. They carry baskets, linens, small clay vessels for water. At the center of the group, one woman walks with greater purpose. Her posture is tall, her expression serene. She is not just another servant. She is royalty, the daughter of Pharaoh. She has come here, as she often does, not with fanfare, but with quiet reverence, to bathe, to bless, to thank. She steps to the water's edge, and her sandals press into the moist ground. The light catches her hair. It glows like honey in the sun. She kneels. She touches the water with open palms. She closes her eyes for a moment. Perhaps she prays. Perhaps she listens. Miriam watches from the reeds. You watch with her. Neither of you speak. Neither of you move. You both wait. The basket drifts closer, as if drawn by destiny. The river grows calmer. The air becomes warm with anticipation. The breeze stills. Even the birds fall silent for a moment. And then it happens. The princess lifts her head. She turns toward the reeds. She sees it, a small basket, half covered in lilies and shadow, drifting softly on the water. She tilts her head, curious. She rises, slowly and without alarm. She steps forward, her feet barely causing ripples. With one graceful motion, she calls for a handmaid. The servant moves quietly to her side. Together, they step into the water, not deep, just enough to reach. They approach the basket. Hugh, hold your breath. Miriam does too. The servant reaches into the water. She draws the basket forward. The reeds part slightly. The basket rocks gently, just once, then stills. The servant holds it before the princess. The princess leans in, her face inches from the linen. She reaches inside with careful hands and lifts the baby. He does not cry. He opens his eyes. They meet hers. Something unspoken passes between them. She gasps, but softly, like someone who has just seen a star fall. She cradles him in her arms. He is not heavy. He is not afraid. He looks into her eyes, calm and unblinking. Okay? And in that gaze, something changes. Something ancient. Something invisible. Something sure. The princess draws him close. She presses her cheek to his hair. Okay? And for a long, quiet moment, she holds him without words. The servant speaks, cannot hear the words, but the tone is gentle. The princess does not answer at first. She rocks the baby slightly in her arms, then nods. Once, Miriam sees this, and she knows her moment has come. She steps from the reeds, heart pounding, but feet steady. You walk beside her, though unseen. You feel the way the earth shifts underfoot. You feel the breeze return. You feel time begin to move again. Miriam stands tall, though she is small. She lifts her voice, soft but clear. Would you like me to find a woman to nurse the child for you? The princess turns. Her eyes meet Miriam's. They are not angry, okay? They are not surprised. They are kind. She studies Miriam's face, okay, then nods again. Yes, she says. Find someone who will care for him, tiring her to me. And in that moment, the river breathes again. The birds sing, the leaves dance, the water glimmers. Miriam turns and runs. She runs not with fear, but with joy. She knows what this means. She knows what she will say. Her robe lifts in the breeze as her feet fly across the earth. You run beside her. You feel the rhythm in your legs. You feel the weight lift from your chest. You feel the peace of a plan unfolding. And behind you, the river continues to sink. It carries not only water now, but the echo of a promise kept. Miriam runs. Her feet touch the earth like breath touches skin. Light, quick, full of purpose. The path curves beneath her, soft with early dew, lined with reeds that reach skyward. Her robe moves with her, the indigo fabric fluttering around her ankles. Her skin, a deep, sun-warmed bronze, catches flashes of light as she moves through patches of shadow and gold. She does not look back. The moment is clear. The choice has been made. Behind her, the princess cradles the baby, her own hands adorned in rings of soft gold. She holds him, not as a stranger, but as if she has always known him. The child rests against her chest, his skin the color of rich, fertile clay, his breath soft and slow. The river, once so still, now hums with quiet joy. The village is not far. You can almost feel it before you see it, the shift in the air. The warmth of baking earth, the scent of cooking fire smoke beginning to rise. Miriam enters quietly, her breath quick but not strained. She moves past clay walls, woven baskets, and sleeping goats. She turns a corner where sunlight gathers between two low homes, and there she is, her mother. She kneels beside a grinding stone, her hands dusty with meal, skin rich and smooth, shines with the sheen of early heat. A loose wrap of dark cotton hugs her frame, and strands of coiled black hair fall near her cheeks. She looks up before Miriam speaks. There is no need for words. She sees it in Miriam's face, the urgency, the awe, the trembling at the edge of joy. Miriam nods once. The woman stands. She wipes her hands against her garment. She places one hand gently on her daughter's shoulder. Then they walk. You follow, as always, at their side. This is not a place of shouts or panic. This is a moment of calm being stretched wide, of destiny being touched lightly by steady hands. The mother walks with poise. Each step is deliberate. She does not hurry, but she does not pause. She carries strength in the line of her back, in the way her fingers curl at her side. Her bare feet lift the dust, soft puffs that leave behind only the memory of motion. Her eyes stay forward. Her breath stays even. You notice now the birds have returned. Not many, just a few. Their calls are low and gentle. Their wings lift and fall in slow rhythm above the trees. When they return to the river, the princess is still there. She has not moved far. She stands beneath the shade of a fig tree. The basket lies nearby, empty now, its purpose fulfilled. The baby sleeps in her arms. His curls are thick and dark, tight coils like Miriam's, resting softly against his blanket. His small fingers twitch once in his sleep, as if holding on to something from a dream. The princess looks up as they approach. Eyes scan the woman standing beside Miriam. Then she smiles. There is no fear between them, only the shared knowledge of what this child needs. The mother lowers her head in greeting. She steps forward and opens her arms. The princess places the child in them. The transfer is slow. It is not rushed. It is done with reverence. The baby stirs, but does not cry. He nestles into the woman's chest, his head resting where he once slept each night. The princess watches closely. She sees the comfort. She sees the familiarity. She speaks, her voice low, careful, shaped by education and ritual. Would you care for this child as your own, she asks, and bring him to me when he is grown? The woman nods. She will not speak more than needed. She knows what this means. The princess places one hand on the baby's back. Then she turns to Miriam. You brought me to him, she says. You watched over him. You have a wise and loyal spirit. Miriam says nothing. She bows her head. Her cheeks glow with warmth, not from the sun alone, but from the calm thrill of being seen. The river flows beside them, quiet now. It does not need to speak. Its message has already been carried. The trees lift in the breeze. The papyrus dances once more, and in the sky above, clouds drift like pulled cotton, slow and long and silver-edged. Miriam stands beside her mother. The baby rests in their arms again, but everything has changed. They walk away, not to hide him, but to raise him, not in fear, but in purpose. You walk with them, each step lighter than the last. 8. The hush of the river follows. It moves behind you like a gentle escort, a soft-voiced guardian. The reeds close slowly behind you. The path ahead is clear. Let us stay with them for a while as they walk away from the riverbank. Not in a rush, not in secrecy, but with calm assurance. The baby, wrapped snug against his mother's chest, breathes slow and even. His small hands curl gently into the folds of the cloth that holds him. The breeze lifts a few strands of Miriam's hair. She walks just behind her mother, still quiet, still holding the moment within her. Her skin glows in the soft heat of morning, like polished bark warmed by the sun. Each step she takes is light, but grounded. Each glance toward her brother carries a tenderness that wraps around him like a second swaddle. They are returning not just to their home, but to a new beginning, a beginning that lives within them now, shaped by faith and carried on the current of courage. The reeds sway behind them. The Nile breathes a long sigh, content and knowing. Farther down the bank, the princess stands for a moment longer. She watches the path where they disappeared. Her robe flutters lightly in the breeze, and her fingers still hold the faint warmth of the baby she cradled. The servant beside her speaks softly. Words do not reach us, but the tone is gentle, curious. The princess replies with a single nod. Then she steps back into the shade, her silhouette framed by hanging branches in morning light. She turns and walks away, her pace unhurried. Though she carries no child in her arms now, she carries a new weight, one of choice, of change. Her golden bangles catch the sunlight as she walks, glinting like sparks on water. The basket, once floating, now rests on the shore. The water laps against it gently, not ready to let it go, but no longer needed to carry it forward. It has served its purpose, has become more than reeds and pitch. It has become memory. Let your breath settle again now. Feel the air around you, warm and hushed. The water, no longer carrying, now reflects. The current softens its voice. You may still hear the sounds of the day beginning, the rustle of palm fronds, the distant bleat of goats waking in the village, the gentle splashing of herons lifting from the shallows. But your place remains here, in this quiet space, in the story that wraps itself around you like a linen cloth warmed by firelight. The home they return to is simple. It's clay walls, low and smooth, a wooden door softened by weather and years. Inside, a woven mat, a single jug, the scent of bread cooling on a flat stone. It is not grand. It is sacred in its simplicity. The mother carries her son through the doorway. She kneels, places him on the soft mat, and watches him as he sleeps. Her hand rests lightly on his chest, feeling the rhythm she once carried beneath her heart. Miriam sits nearby. Her legs are tucked beneath her, her hands in her lap. She does not speak. She watches. The boy stirs once in his sleep, then sighs. The sigh is light, the way babies sigh when held close to something they recognize. His brow smooths, his fists unclench. Outside, the breeze stirs the cloth at the doorway. Inside, all is calm. The mother speaks, her voice low, more breath than sound. He is safe, she says. He is home. Miriam nods. And you, still sitting beside them, feel the weight of those words. Not every home is made of walls. Some are made of promises kept. Some are made of faith passed between hands. Some are made of silence, wrapped in love. This home is made of all three. Outside, the light grows stronger. The day opens its eyes, but inside, all is still. The child sleeps. The mother watches. The sister breathes. The story does not need to rush forward. It can rest here, in this place, in this breath. Let your own breath slow again. Let the calm of the room surround you. You are held, not just by the story, but by the silence that holds it together. The wind does not press. It moves gently, through leaves, through open windows, through the spaces between words. You are welcome here. You are part of this stillness. Let it stay with you. Time passes softly in a little home, not by clocks or shadows, but by the rhythm of breath and the settling of warmth. The baby sleeps on, wrapped in the faint scent of linen and sweet oil. His curls rest gently against the mat, and his cheek glows like wet clay drying in the sun. Each exhale is delicate, almost silent. Miriam shifts only slightly. She leans against the wall, her legs stretched out, one hand resting beside her. Her eyes stay on him, but her mind drifts like pollen on a breeze. She remembers the day she first felt the river, not as water, but as presence. She remembers her mother's voice explaining that the Nile was more than a stream. It was memory. It was movement. It was a whisper from heaven. Okay, now she believes it with her whole heart. She has seen what the water can carry. Okay, she has seen what silence can protect. Outside, the day ripens. Sunlight deepens into gold, then into the gentle bronze of late morning. Shadows stretch across the ground like long fingers reaching toward the river. Women pass by the home, balancing baskets on their heads, wrapped in cloth the color of sun and smoke. Their laughter trails behind them, warm and rhythmic. A child calls for her mother. A dog barks once, then settles. The world continues, but inside, the quiet remains unbroken. The mother rises and crosses the room. She kneels beside the child once more. Her hands move gently, smoothing the fabric, adjusting the wrap. She hums, just loud enough for Miriam to hear. It's the same tune from the weaving. Okay, the song that wound through the reeds as they built the basket. Now it fills the room again, soft, steady, sacred. Miriam hums with her. The harmony is simple but full. Two voices, small but certain, layered like braids. The boy stirs, not in alarm, but in recognition. His lips part in a dream. His hands curl again into fists, then relax. The sound of the song is not music in the way of drums or lyres. It is older. It's made of breath and memory. It does not fill the room. It floats in it. Let it float around you now. Let it wrap softly around your chest, your arms, your neck. Like a shawl soaked in sunlight. It's like a voice your bones remember. Let the rhythm carry your breath again. Inhale, pause, exhale, softly, gently. No effort. It's flow. Outside, the reeds near the river still sway. Their movements are slower now, less curious, more settled. They no longer reach. They only receive. Dragonflies flit above the surface, their wings catching the light like shards of glass. Each beat of their wings is precise, controlled. The water, no longer carrying the basket, reflects instead. It holds the sky in its surface like a mirror turned upward, and the sky holds stories no one has told yet. Stories waiting to bloom.